Hi guys, welcome to my video today. I thought I'd have a go at one of the videos that I keep seeing on YouTube all the time where people turn grocery store bought cakes into these amazing wedding cakes and fancy cakes. So I thought I'll have a go. I was pleasantly surprised by the cakes I got in the supermarket. So I headed to the supermarket and I got a range. So I probably won't use all of them in this video, but I don't know. I haven't really planned what I'm going to do. They had carrot cakes, lemon cakes, walnut cakes. I tried to avoid the fondant covered cakes, so the ones covered in sugar paste, because I thought then I have to start taking it off and recovering. So I thought most of these ones that I got were kind of like, this is a Belgian chocolate fudge one. They've got buttercream and different frostings on, but I thought I could maybe get away without having to take them off. I don't know, like whether we should go for something tiered or not. I like these ones, so I'm probably gonna eat them. I even bought some like Swiss rolls. These ones were only cheap. I don't know what these ones are gonna be like. A bigger kind of jam roll there. And some mini rolls. These are open because I've been eating them already. Yeah, so I don't know, like should I use all of them or just one or two? Let's think. Let's have a think about what we can do with all these cakes. Or maybe there'll be more than one video using them. So maybe this kind of shape, all the rolls would make good like little castle turrets maybe. So maybe for this one, maybe this could be a bottom tier of my castle. I'm ready to get into it. I feel like it looked taller in the box than now that I've got it out of the box, but it's okay. I guess my castle doesn't have to be really tall. Okay, do you know what? I might use two of these for turrets at the back and those for smaller turrets at the front. So they'll kind of stick up at the back. Okay, so that one comes on a tray. I don't think this one does. No, that one doesn't come on anything, so let's leave that on the plastic. It actually smells really nice, this one. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. There's no paper or anything underneath, so let's just put that on there for now. It's not going to stay on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out of one of them, and then I'll leave the other one. This actually might be messy because the cake's a bit taller than my cutter. Okay, because there's no filling in between, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sandwich them together this way so that the cream cheese frosting is in the middle. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, it's not the same size. I know, it's fine. It's my plan is to cut it or to ice it so that it's a little bit wider at one side than the other. So let's just try and trim this so it matches with the top, or comes down gradually I should say, not matches. We'll do this all the way around, just cutting little bits off. So the buttercream that's on there is kind of crusted over a little bit, so I'll just try and take the big bits off. So we'll have this bit as the underneath bit. So rather than scraping it off, I think we're just going to put ganache over the top of this because it's pretty firm. And I have made a pink ganache. And I've actually made this one with the ruby chocolate. But it didn't go a very nice pink colour, so I've added some pink food colouring to it. I want to try and put it on slightly thicker at the bottom, thinner at this edge. And when I turn it upside down, this will be the top, so it'll be wider at the top than the bottom. If you do put it on thick, guys, it doesn't matter because we can scrape some back off. That's the ruby chocolate, guys, that I used for the ganache. Would have been better had I got myself a turntable. And we're just going to scrape around the edge. So we'll do the same with our other cake. Let's cover our Swiss rolls in ganache for our turrets. I've overheated the ganache a little bit, guys, so it's a bit runny. Okay, so we're going to wait for the ganache to firm up a little bit. But what I'm going to do is stick my other turrets together. Hopefully when this cools, I know it's still a bit runny as this, but hopefully when it cools down, it will stick like ganache usually sticks. Yeah, I think I'm going to put an ice cream cone on the top of each turret, so that's probably going to cover quite a lot of this up. I might even roll the turrets in fondant maybe. We'll give them some time to set. So guys, I forgot to hit record, but I just flipped the cake upside down, stick it onto a large cake board, and then I just put a little bit of ganache on the top. The pink fondant isn't quite dark enough, so I'm gonna add a bit of this. I've just put a tiny bit of corn flour on the work surface, guys. It's gonna get a bit noisy in the background, I think. Let's roll it out. So it's been in the fridge, so it feels slightly tacky anyway. Okay, so we want to wrap, maybe move it over here. This in our fondant. It's not going to be very smooth. Let's trim it off here. And it's pretty warm as well today, guys, so everything's getting a little bit sticky. And I haven't spent much time on this, guys, as you can tell. I should really have spent longer getting it all nice and neat. So I'm going to put some ganache on my board and even a little bit on the side of the cake so that it sticks. And then we're going to push that onto there. So you repeat on the other tower, and we'll also repeat it on our small towers. Maybe not the smoothest turret, but it's okay. And I think this one I'd like to have a stripe. So let's cut a stripe. Oops, slightly different thicknesses in certain places. Maybe keep that in case we can use it for the next one. And if we start like this. If it doesn't stick, you can put a bit of water on. So a bit of ganache where the other turret's gonna go out. A little bit up the side as well. Let's try and get out of the tower on there. Oops, I'm gonna move it a little bit further forward, like that. So I'm going to roll some white fondant. I'm going to roll it slightly bigger than the bottom tier. And we're going to cut a drip effect. So we'll cut out this wavy pattern all the way around. Or drip-like kind of pattern. Trying to keep them all a bit uneven. If I cut too far in, it won't cover the top of my cake, so we might have to do a bit of stretching. Okay, so let's try and move it onto here. I'm just going to have a look at what the drips look like. So I think maybe we're going to have to put some sprinkles on it so that it covers the ganache. And I don't have, I'm borrowing a kitchen, guys. Don't have my own knife here. And the one I'm using is so rubbish. A good knife makes a big difference when you're making your cakes. Because I'm going to struggle to get into this to smooth it because of all my towers. Just make sure the towers are stuck in place. And if you've got a cake card the right size, you can use it. I've just cut my own little cake card to go on the bottom of this. We will turn it over in a minute. Some stripes. Again, use a good knife. This one's awful. My stripes are getting a bit messy. Everything's so difficult to cut. So let's put some stripes on. Let's put them at a bit of a slant. And then we can cut anything off that kind of goes beyond the bottom. Oops. Or tear off whatever goes on beyond the bottom. And the same at the top. And we'll just do this all the way around. So guys, we'll just dowel it. Before I add that tier to this one, the weight might squish this cake. So we're going to put some dowels in. So I've got some plastic dowels. You can use straws. I'm going to push them in until they reach the bottom. And I'm going to hold them where it comes to the surface, lift it up a little bit. And then we'll cut that point. Push it back down. Now you can mark it with a pen. I think I'm going to put 4 in. The bigger you go, guys, with your cakes, the heavier it's going to be, and you might need something a little bit heavier duty than a thin straw. So my ganache hasn't fully set, I don't think, yet. So we've got 4 in there. Now my pink ganache is starting to set, so I'm hoping it's just soft enough that it'll stick these together. So I'm going to put a little bit of ganache just on that. So let's just carefully place it on there. I don't know if I've put it on central or not. Guys, I'm just going to roll another piece of white fondant that's just going to go on top of this other layer. Now for the fun bit, sprinkles. And I've got a huge selection of sprinkles, guys, and I plan to use as many as possible on here. Some of them, in fact, a lot of these are chocolate in the middle as well, so it's not just hard sugar that I'm sticking on these ones. Chocolate, and some of them have even got like biscuit crunchy bits in the middle. I'm going to put links below the video to the various different sprinkles and things that I've used as well, so that if you want to use the same ones, you can do, but you can use whatever you want on yours. And I'm going to press them into the white fondant bits. I am just sticking them on with a little bit of water, and I've melted some chocolate. I've melted the ruby chocolate, but I added some food colouring as well. I'll put the food colouring in the links below. I'm going to cover some Lindt chocolates in chocolate, and then I'm going to dip some of those in sprinkles as well. I'm going to go for small sprinkles because the big ones don't stay on the chocolate very well. So I'm using ice cream cones for turrets, and I'm putting some melted chocolate on here. And it's a hot pink food colour that I've added to the chocolate. And I'm just going to put a few sprinkles on. The bigger sprinkles tend to fall off my chocolate until it's set, so I'm sticking with smaller sprinkles for these. So I'm going to put one of my ice cream cones on the top here. This is one that I haven't decorated yet. I'm putting some white chocolate drip on these at the back. Although I put that much other stuff on, I don't think you're going to see the drips too much by the time I finish. Put some more ice cream cones on. You might need a bit of chocolate under these just to stick them in place. So that's one that we decorated earlier. And then these ones that are sort of more naked ice cream cones, I'll put the chocolate drips on afterwards. So another one in there. You put as many as you want, wherever you want. And my chocolate's starting to get a bit thick now, it's setting. And these bigger ones, the ice cream cone's going to fit in just here. But I'm going to show you how I decorate that on this one. So I've got rectangles of fondant. We're just going to stick them around the top of our Swiss roll. And then I've wrapped 2 pieces of fondant together, a white and a pink, twisted them like a little rope, and we're going to wrap these around so it covers the bottom of those rectangles. Then just a strip of pink fondant. It's going to go under there. Let's push it up. And you could spend longer on yours if you want to make it a bit neater. A bit of melted chocolate just in the middle so that the ice cream cone does stick in place on there. And if you've got any other decorations you want to put on there, you can do. The heart that I've stuck on, I did actually make in another video, so I'm going to put a link up to that video in the corner of the screen. I'm going to stick my other heart topper on that I made. Again, I'll put a link in the corner so you can find the video for this. It's going to keep sliding. I'm going to prop it up with another sprinkle. And then these are the chocolates that I covered in sprinkles earlier. Let's put these outside the door. And I don't know if I got it on camera or not, guys, but I just put a bit of white fondant around the bottom of my castle. And then these are just balls of fondant that I've stuck sprinkles to. And we're just going to push these on top of our little towers. You can use the chocolates if you want, but I was struggling to get them to stick. So the fondant squeezed on there easier. More giant sprinkles. These ones have got biscuit in the middle. And then I'm just going to stick little sprinkles to the bottom of my board. I'm just going to use some melted chocolate or melted candy melts. So I'm going to cover the board in this, but not the white fondant. And then we're just going to put sprinkles on it so they stick on there. And do it all the way around the board until you've completely covered it. Create some little spirals if you want for the tops of your towers as well. Really have a play around with what you want to put on there. Ta-da! Thanks for watching.
Finished it at last. Took a little bit longer than I thought. It's not especially neat or tidy, but I got to use loads of sprinkles I didn't have to bake, and I had loads of fun.
If you liked the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment below. You can see more of my tutorials by clicking on the images on screen now. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button to stay up to date with my future tutorials. There are also links in the description box below where you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and more.